Hello again. Final video that I want to share with you guys, just again outlining a sort of key document that we use within our class. So we've had a little tour of OneNote. We've had a look at how we track formative assessment amongst homework and some other things as well. This document is a living document which sits up on the wall in our classroom, and it tracks where students think they are in terms of their progress through each learning goal and each success criteria. Back to the video about OneNote, we've got our learning goal tab on the right here, and this lists the learning goals down the left hand side, this section here. Alright, and then under each learning goals there are different criteria, success criteria we call them, that they have to try and achieve to be successful at that learning goal. Alright, what I'll do at the start of each unit is I will get students to gauge their level of understanding for each of these. Okay, so I'll put success criteria A up on the board, and I'll give them some questions that relate to that success criteria. I might give them 60 seconds to do what they can, and then they gauge themselves on a 1 to 4 scale. So 1 having absolutely no idea whatsoever, 2 having some idea, 3 being pretty good, and 4 meaning that you could pretty much teach the person beside you. So they'll gauge themselves on their own, where they think they are in terms of their own level of understanding. The most important thing for this is that they are, and I encourage them to be absolutely honest. If they are a 1, then give themselves a 1. Okay, if they're a 3, if they think they might be a 4, maybe give themselves a 3, just so we don't overestimate our ability in that success criteria. Once we collect all that data, it then gets put onto a spreadsheet here. Alright, now back over here on our OneNote, the 1s are essentially relate to a D, just the program that we use to capture this data. A 2 means that they're essentially a C, and 3 a B, and 4 is an A. Alright, so it doesn't necessarily they're of a D standard, it just means their level of understanding on our personal reflection guide here is sitting down at a 1, which isn't much of an idea about anything at all, which is fine. So once it's all put in here, we've got student A who gave themselves for success criteria A was a D, B was a D, C was a B, so that goes a light shade of green. We've got a couple more Ds and a couple more Cs to finish off. Alternatively, we look at student B who gave themselves a C for criteria A. It gives themselves an A, which means that they are absolutely nailing that one. They can teach that student beside them. Turns a nice dark shade of green. We've got a C, we've got another A, we've got a couple of Bs, and we've got an A here. The reason that we use this is it's blown up on an A3 sheet of paper, and as we go through and teach success criteria A, so this one here, student A, prior to doing any teaching, might have thought they had no idea. We've now had a lesson on this, and they are more than welcome at any stage in class, when they feel as though that they are nailing that success criteria, they're more than welcome to come up, grab their pen and shade that square in. Okay, so that shows that they have a pretty good understanding. We come across to success criteria rather B, and they've given themselves a D. They might go and change that to a C. They've improved their understanding, but not enough to shade that square in. Okay, they come across here and they might do quite well at the rest of them, but there's still a couple of white squares there. Okay, what that indicates is when it comes time for revision for our exam, alright, they're going to get their revision sheet and they are going to start on their Ds. Okay, so the questions that they have least understanding about, they're going to start on all those questions that relate to success criteria A. Once that's done, they might then go and say, sweet, I've got that, I'm pretty sorted. Now I'm going to move on to my other white squares, which are my Cs. Okay, so they're going to focus the majority of their time at the beginning on the stuff that they don't understand, and then move ahead and go, right, I still need to revisit C, D, E and G, but at the moment my white squares left on my sheet are B and F. Okay, so as we go across the term, hopefully, fingers crossed, the idea is that we move through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right up to R or S, I think it is, that they are continually shading squares in as they track along this document. Okay, this one will have the students' names on it, so we'll have Bob, it'll have Jane, it'll have Sam and Rebecca. Right, that one just lives in our classroom. This is not one that I email home to all parents, so in our classroom it will have all the students' name in alphabetical order based on the role, and they will be responsible for coming up and engaging with this sheet here as well.